Boys and girls, I haven't done a video in a while, man, so let's catch up on the news. Really, let me start out with Lisa Marie Presley, man. That whole story, that whole thing is just a disaster, man, and it really shows me how destructive this world is and what it does to people. You know, I mean, Elvis died at a young age. By the way, I went to an Elvis concert when I was 9 or 10 years old, 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there in Chicago. But anyway, you know, Elvis died at a young age. He was put on drugs by the government, the biggest drug pushers on the planet, the pharmaceuticals, the doctors. He died, overdose. His mother died. She was an alcoholic, you know, and little Lisa Marie, she lost her dad at that early age. And you could tell from interviews, man, that it ripped her soul out. You know, she had so many questions about, you know, why, what's going on in this world, why did it happen, la-da-da-da-da. And then she grew up, went through all them horrible marriages and everything she dealt with, and then in the end, she was on drugs, pharmaceuticals from the drug pushers, the government. Same thing with her. She was on opioids, addicted. A year ago, one of her sons shot himself in the head, killed himself, and now her. You know, and like I say, man, I just look at that whole picture and how destructive this world is that Satan runs. You know, dude, it's horrible, man. All right, that's number one. Number two, guns. You know, I live in the state of Illinois, and they're trying to ban guns. You know, they've already passed it. You give these government thugs an inch, and they're going to take a mile. Right now, they want all the assault weapons. Pretty soon, they're going to go after all your guns. Okay, they are somehow trying to establish a venue or whatever you want to call it, that, you know, guns kill people. Well, so do steak knives. What about this kid that just killed those 4 college students with a knife in their sleep? And if this kid wanted to, he could have went out from house to house to house all night long and ended up killing 500 people that easy with a knife, a steak knife. So let's ban all the knives. Let's ban all the axes. Let's ban all the crowbars. Let's ban everything that can kill somebody. You know, but anyway, man, you know, the Constitution that allows guns to fight against the government, to protect yourself against the government. You know, once again, they're going after your guns when the government can, you know, they got tanks and warplanes and everything else they want. Illinois itself, you know, you got to have a FOID card to have a gun, which is unconstitutional. But yet millions and millions of Illinoisans, whatever you want to call them, they allow the government to do it. Just like every other state, you allow the government, the beast, to get away with murder, to break the Constitution. You know, the patriots that died fighting these governments, and now we've allowed this beast to grow into a dragon once again. It's the same old story, guys. All these governments should be abolished, period. Because all they are is evil. Every single time these people get into power, it's the same thing over and over and over and over. But here they go after your guns once again. Like I said, you give them an inch and they're going to take a mile. If they give away with these guns, they're going to go after all the guns. You don't want your government to get the guns. Okay? And again, there's millions in society. They're so dumbed down and stupid. They think it's a good thing to take the guns. They have no idea how evil the government is. Okay? But it's what it is, man. Here we go with that. This black dude that just got killed by 5 police officers in Atlanta. Now they're rioting. They're going to play a video of these police officers beating this guy to death. What do you think is going to happen? You know, people are going to riot. You know, and maybe they should. Because again, once again, the government thugs, the police officers, I do not, how do I say this, man? I do not, I know the justice system is just corrupt as anything, man. Okay, they killed this guy. They should get sued. From what I understand, all these cops, they've just been fired. They should be in jail already for murder. Okay, but once again, you know, they're rioting down there. And you know what? Let it go. Let it go, man. I'm not saying that's right. You got a bunch of thugs breaking into windows, stealing stuff. But what about the other thugs? What about the government thugs? What about the thugs that work for the government? You know, you got a world full of thugs. You know, Satan. But what are you going to do? You know, maybe if you worship God and went down that road and everything was straightened out, eventually that's what's going to happen. Going to have to happen to straighten this mess out. But anyway, man. Yeah, I can't believe they're showing that on TV. You know, just because somebody died, they need to broadcast that on national TV. Okay, what about Jeffrey Epstein and the government raping all these kids? Let's broadcast that on TV because a bunch of little kids died on some island with a bunch of government and Hollywood figures raping and killing these kids. What about abortions? We got millions of abortions where they're slaughtering kids and sucking their brains out. Things of that nature. Let's broadcast that because these kids are dying. You know, so, you know, why just broadcast one thing when they know what's going to happen? Again, there's riots, violence going down over that. They already knew that would happen, but yet they do it anyway. But you notice again, they won't broadcast abortions. They're not going to broadcast Epstein or anything else because then it's going to go anti-government. Once everybody sooner or later wakes up to the fact that, you know, your own elected officials are raping kids and killing kids, and all that crap going down. Anyway, last thing on the list, the new debt clock that's ticking for the government. Okay, they're saying that, well, we got a debt clock and we need to pass another $2, $3 trillion, $5 trillion to keep the government running. If we don't do it, it's going to be a catastrophic mess. You know me. My opinion is let every single government of the world collapse. You know, governments need to be abolished. Every single one, because every single government that has ever existed is nothing but evil, from top to bottom. But anyway, man, you know, the Republicans are saying, well, we're going to have to cut Social Security. We're going to have to cut this. We're going to have to cut that because we've got to get this under control. When, in fact, it's impossible to get it under control because they're $200 trillion plus in debt. You're not going to get that under control, guys. It's game over. See, but they're trying to string you along and give you some bullshit story that we can possibly get this under control and figure it out and blah, 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 blah. But we want to cancel the Social Security, you know. So here they go again. The people are going to suffer, not the banks, not the government. The people are going to suffer. And they may as well, you know, we let the government get this big and then go the mafia, I should call them. You know, you allow these people to get this big and destroy the economy. So guess what? Maybe it's time you do feel some pain, you know. But anyway, man, yeah, Social Security, they're going to cut this, cut that, cut this, cut that, in order to print trillions and trillions and trillions of more fake money, you know, that's getting ready to collapse anyway. With that said, I think that's about it. I'm running out of time. You know, let's talk about, you know, something to do with the government and this fake money. You know, I was watching a thing on Bonnie and Clyde a couple months ago. Did you guys, you know, Bonnie and Clyde were criminals supposedly, and supposedly everybody, you know, they were out killing and robbing banks, you know. But did you guys know that back in then days also that there was a recession, a depression, and all the bankers and the government figures had all the money and all this stuff, and then Bonnie and Clyde were actually stealing money from the banks, the real fraudsters, the real mafia, and they were giving it to people in towns and everywhere they went, man. And a lot of people actually loved these guys because they were stealing from the crooks, the real crooks, and then giving it to the poor people who were suffering. You know, believe it or not, I seen that the other day, and I wanted to tie that into this government, you know, spending debt clock, whatever the hell you want to call it. Anyway, guys. All right, man, my time's out. I got to hit it. Peace out. Take care. God bless. Have a great day.